Although there's some from international, most of these are from the Pacific Northwest and the West Coast, because back in the day, back in the 70s, we weren't really in New York, and we weren't in Kansas, and we weren't in a lot of other places. So I've got pins from like all over the place, and God save me, I just got the Eugene pin today. So thank you. But I've got some pins, and I've got a message to share with you, okay? So I'm going to cool down now, and what I want you to do is, this shirt says Imagine, and there's several messages coming up. Imagine what your life would be without 2030 in your life. Friendships for a lifetime. We just talked about 2 people, just 2. But think about all the friends that you've made in the U.S., even the rest of the world, as far as that goes. There's people in this room that have friends in South America, Central America, Canada, Europe, and the Far East. You'd miss out on memories of events that you either participated in or chaired. Look at the fun you've had Thursday moving tons of sand for kids, right? How many of you had an opportunity to do that? Raise your hand. Tons of sand. Isn't it great? Well, maybe you're backfired. I don't know. I'll bet if you think hard, you can come up with one of those memories right now. One of those memories from your club. You have a special one? Got to be one out there. Something you remember. One that you can tell your friends about and your acquaintances. How many people have you run into that say to you, "What's Active 2030? What do you folks do? What do you stand for?" There was an older couple out here today that stopped by the table and talked to Sarah's mom and was asking her about Active 2030, and I stood up and told them all about it. And she said, "Wow, we've never heard of you. We've heard of Rotary. We've heard of all these other guys, Lions Club. We've never heard of Active 2030. So we've got to figure out a way to get our name out." I can think of several projects that I was involved with locally there in Eugene. Girl Scout Camp in Florence, Oregon, Jasper Mountain, Special Olympics. How many of you folks are involved in Special Olympics? There's got to be a few of you here in the room. Did you watch the torch just started in New York and end up down in LA? Going to go in every state before we're done. Christmas tree pickup. You talk about Boom Boom Nuremberg. Used to have breakfast with Mike every year for the Christmas tree pickup. And my daughter, my youngest daughter, who was born in '74, by the way, she'd always go out with Mike and I and figure out how many trees we're going to pick up, and we'd make a bet with one of the other guys to see if we can get more trees on the truck. We bet a beer to have that happen. Is this better? But what I'll tell you, we didn't drink nearly as much beer as I've seen flow through here in the last half hour. When I got here, it was coffee and water, and then the first 6-pack goes by, and I think, well, that's not bad, 6-pack of beer. And then there became 2 cases. And the last thing I saw was an entire cart going through with probably 15 cases of beer on it. Well done. You guys have not given up, have you? Well, it's important that you seize the day. You folks probably want to see that too, right? Seize the day. I want to remind you that you're in control. There's so much opportunity out there for young people. Back in '74, when I joined the Eugene Active 2030 Club, they invented the Post-it note. You guys must have tons of them at your house by now or in your office. The first call was made on what they called a mobile phone. Didn't even become a cellular phone until the late '80s. We barely knew what cable TV was, and it sure as hell didn't cost $159 a month. During the mid-'70s, when I joined the club, we were only a men's organization, and we started a women's auxiliary at the Eugene Active 2030 Club. It was very smart. But the smartest thing was when Active 2030 allowed the women to join the organization. That was monumental. and I'm speaking to all the young people in the room because I know there's a couple of past active folks that have already been down this road. You have the opportunity to make a difference. Reach out and take a chance. Co-chair a project. Get on board. Do it when it's your turn. A very good friend of Active 2030, Mike Norberg. He left us recently. His legacy will be with us for many years. Big talked about how Mike mentored him, and that's really what Active 2030 is all about. The spirit that Mike Norberg brought to Active 2030 has been instilled in several people in this room. If you just think back about how he may have touched you. His passion for leading and mentoring and his commitment to the mission of Active 2030, helping children throughout not only his community, but the entire world will not be forgotten. Michael told me when I visited him during his last days that our club is simply stronger than any of us have ever imagined. And Active 2030 is simply stronger than any of us ever imagined. I think back to the days when some of the members of the Eugene Club, the likes of Earl Dorman and Del Cokie and John Reed and Mark Ewing, Tucker Davies, is that a name from the past for some of you folks? And Mike Norberg. I can go on and on. They were all leaders of our club. They left behind the future leaders because they mentored them. They put their arm around them when they first became a member and said, guess what, I'm going to help you chair that next project. You have all done that. You've all tried to bring somebody along. All of us took the mentoring seriously and passed it on, just like those of you in this room that are committed to the organization and the mission of Active 2030. Yes, there's more.
There's like 27 shirts there.
I've seen this YouTube video.
Now it's important that I want you to find your way. Check it out. You don't have to slay that dragon in a day. There's plenty of time. Whether you're in your 20s or your 30s, or you're just about ready to go past active, just think about it. Slow down a little bit, slay that dragon maybe one leg at a time. Be a project chair, be an officer, or simply be a worker bee. We talked about that today. It's yours for the taking. I spent some very exciting and energetic years, yes, energetic years in the Active 2030 Club. I went past active and now I have a chance to serve on the foundation board. This is my third year. Lisa would know. She's my 2030 wife. I guess I'll be on the foundation. What are you smiling for, honey? I guess I'll be on the foundation until they fire me. Whether you joined at the age of 20 or 30, you don't have to do everything the first year. We certainly want to encourage each of you to stretch to your limits, though. Say yes, get an opportunity. Slow and steady wins the race. Now, I said say yes, right?
Yes, Terry.
No, sir. It's getting cooler in here. Why should you say yes? Yes. Yes. Okay? Why should you say yes? Because it's the right thing to do. Whether you're 26 or 76, the smile you put on someone's face when you help them by offering a hand, mowing their lawn, working on the Christmas light, it's all important. Say yes to volunteering at any one of the many charitable groups back in your community. It's been said that those of us that volunteer, keep this in mind now, have a chance to reduce the risk of mortality by as much as 25% unless you drink a case of beer today. Say yes when the school calls and needs someone to be a lunch buddy or read to a child. Say yes when running for office because you can make a difference. And I can attest it's never too old to be involved, not only in 2030, but my community as well. Say yes when many people many years older than you have a need for a meal or a trip to the doctor or a trip to the dentist. I sincerely believe in paying it forward. I try to pay it forward every day. Sometimes it's small. Sometimes it's has a little more meaning. You should try it. Watch the reaction on their face when you do something just out of the spirit of love for somebody else. Most of all, say yes to supporting the club and the foundation. and your community wherever you get the opportunity. The Eugene Active 2030 Foundation has a way of raising some money by way of birthday club. I'm not sure if any of the other clubs are doing that right now, but every year we turn a year over. I got to pay $67 next year, by the way. We write a check, goes to the foundation, it all goes back to child welfare. Now, you don't have to keep your life complicated.
Yeah, Terry.
Yeah, stable down. Life doesn't have to be complicated. It's no disgrace to be pure, just plain vanilla. It's okay. You don't have to be strawberry. You don't have to be chocolate. Be plain vanilla. Being a contributor with your time is a simple process. All you have to do is show up, put your heart in the function, learn from those around you, and participate for a few hours. That's all it takes. And there's many, many hours in your day. Whether you're going to go off to the gym or whatever you're going to do, think about the volunteering hours. Some in this room have never been without a cell phone, right? Had a cell phone and, yeah. I might be the only one in the room. Well, there could be one or two others that can remember when the only thing we had was black and white TV and rabbit ears. Oh, I got another one back there. All right. Don't get tied down to technology. Set it aside now and again. Talk to the person next to you. Make new friends. You'll never know what you're going to learn. It's important that you take the time to do those kinds of things. We're just about done. Life is good, loves me. Make it happen. I want to think of this as make their day. Each of you must have some special, and in some cases not so pleasant memories of Active 2030, maybe falling in the pool or something inappropriate. Who knows? Why are you laughing, dear? Some can talk about those, and some of you help never show up on Twitter or Facebook. One of my fondest memories of the Eugene Active 2030 Club was the Oregon State Special Olympics track and field. I helped start Oregon State Special Olympics track and field back in Eugene at the University of Oregon way back in the 70s. At one of the first meets, they were all lined up on the start line. The gun went off. She was probably 7 or 8 years old. She focused on the finish line and the runners ahead of her. It became apparent that this race might just take a little longer than the previous races. The people in the stands started clapping and yelling words of encouragement to her. Her smile was wide and contagious. 3 of us went to her and encouraged her to stay the course. By this time, the crowd was on its feet and everybody was yelling and clapping and yelling words of encouragement to her. She waved and smiled back to the crowd. She was so excited. By this time, the crowd was on its feet, everyone yelling for her to finish. 5 minutes and 15 seconds later, she crossed the finish line. She was the winner. A person never stands as tall as when they kneel to help a child. Never forgot that. So many memories. I've already mentioned the Girl Scout camp at Clearwalks. Road trips all over the West Coast. We even visited Auburn back in the day. Eugene came down. International conventions in Eugene, my hometown, and on and on. Every club's mission, and you folks said it this morning, Active 2030, U.S. and Canada, provides young adults with an opportunity for personal growth, friendships, and leadership development while improving the quality of life for the special needs of children in their community. We had to say it twice this morning. We said it, but that is the mission, and you should really believe that. In a minute. Finally, Finally, I want to say thank you. Thank you to everybody in this room that took the time out of their daily schedule. Some of you have been down here for almost a week. Thank you for allowing me to share my reflections and my passion about Active 2030. Yes, I'm a Lifetime Achievement Award winner in Eugene. And believe me, I'm very proud and honored to have that honor. But Active 2030 and my memories of Active 2030 mean more to me than that plaque will ever mean, and the friends that I've made. I hope that each of you got one nugget out of my little talk today that I gave you. Thank you to all the many clubs throughout the U.S. and Canada and internationally. El Salvador and Santo Domingo were here today as well. And the foundations that they formed all over for furthering child welfare. Thank you to all of you for coming out to support this wonderful event. Without you, Active 2030 would not be going anywhere. Thank you to my parents for showing me the hard work and perseverance pays off. Active 2030 gave me friendships and memories that will last a lifetime, and for that I'm very thankful. Now for the real deal. And many of you have partners, wives, husbands. I would be remiss if I didn't thank my wife, my partner, my friend, Roseanne, my wife of almost 47 years. Thank you for keeping me grounded. By the way, she doesn't know about Liesl. Thank you for keeping me grounded, supporting me in my many travels of Active 2030. God bless you all. Thank you for being members of Active 2030 and everything that you do within the community.